I just cannot emphasize enough the difference that spiritual leadership on the field makes. You know, we have a lot of religious programs on TV and that sort of thing. But when you lose a loved one, when you need to be married, or you have a spiritual problem, or you need counseling, TV isn't going to help you. And a lot of the rural areas do not have a pastor who can respond to those needs. And that's the need that we're trying to fulfill. My dad is in heaven today because of village missions. I'll never forget the first time I heard my dad pray, because there was a softness that came into his voice I had never heard before, and I was a college kid at that time. And that was all as a result of village missions. He would not be in heaven today if we didn't have a missionary there. That's why I'm involved in it, have been all these years, because I saw firsthand what village missions can do in a rural area where there's no other spiritual leadership. And so if you went into a situation as a new missionary where maybe people on your board didn't know the Lord, or they weren't living as you thought they should, and so on, it was always to love the people and preach the word. And that's been our motto. People need to know they're accepted, no matter who they are or what they are. And then the word of God, if it's rightfully preached, will take care of the rest of it. If we see people on our fields that are problem people, we love them in spite of who they are, and we preach the word and let the word take care of those problems. Long ago I learned, when I ask a missionary, how's your church doing? I always say, how's your church doing spiritually? Because if you don't, they think you're talking about numbers. And I often ask the question, how do you put the value on a single soul? Suppose we send a missionary out. We spend a lot of money getting him on the field and getting him set up and going. And in his ministry, he's there for 30 years. He only brings one person to Christ. Has that been a failure? That ministry been a failure? Obviously not. You cannot put a value on one soul. And so I know the megachurch philosophy is, and these young men coming out, I think that, well, they have stars in their eyes, they're all going to build a megachurch. But how do you build a megachurch at Delcana, Washington, which is a dead mill town? There are people there whose souls Christ died for, and they need to be brought to know him.